How to stay happy and confident after 70. 5 mindset shifts that change everything. Have you ever caught yourself looking in the mirror and wondering, where did the time go? Maybe you feel like the world is moving faster, and some days you just feel left behind. You're not alone. Reaching your 70s can be a beautiful thing filled with wisdom, freedom, and stories worth sharing. But it also comes with changes that can challenge our sense of happiness and confidence. That's why today, we're talking about how to shift your mindset in ways that make you feel alive, grounded, and proud of exactly where you are in life. Happiness after 70 doesn't come from trying to be who you were at 50, it comes from embracing who you are now, fully and fiercely. And confidence? It's not about keeping up with the younger generation. It's about honoring the strength you've built over the years and continuing to grow from it. One powerful shift is letting go of the idea that your best days are behind you. That kind of thinking will rob your joy faster than anything. The truth is, some of your richest, most meaningful moments can happen now when you're not hustling, not rushing, just being. Maybe it's sitting outside with a hot cup of coffee in the cool morning air, or teaching a grandchild how to make your special fry bread recipe. Maybe it's dancing to an old song that still stirs your soul. These moments aren't leftovers from a past life. They are now, and they are yours to enjoy fully. Another shift is learning to stop comparing yourself especially to who you used to be or who you think you should be. We live in a world that worships youth, but age brings gifts that youth could never give. You've made it through hardship. You've cared for others. You've watched the seasons change, not just outside your window, but in your own spirit. That wisdom, that experience, is not something to hide, it's something to wear like your favorite blanket on a chilly evening. Soft, comforting, and earned. Now that we've talked about embracing the present and letting go of comparisons, let's ease into another shift that can completely change how you experience this stage of life, and that's choosing connection over isolation, even when it feels easier to pull away. After 70, it's not uncommon to feel like the world has gotten quieter. Maybe friends have moved away, or loved ones have passed on. Maybe the phone doesn't ring as often. And in those quiet moments, it's easy to start believing that you're meant to be alone, now that your circle has already shrunk for good. But the truth is, connection doesn't have an expiration date. We're wired to need each other, no matter how many winters we've seen. Sometimes, connection looks different than it used to. It's not about having 100 friends or always being out and about. It might be a neighbor you wave to each morning. It might be a weekly phone call with a cousin you haven't spoken to in years. Or maybe it's joining a small circle at the local senior center or cultural lodge, where people gather not just to stay busy, but to stay human. There is power in simply being seen and heard, and in seeing and hearing others. And here's something that surprises many folks. Confidence blooms when we lift someone else up. Sharing your wisdom, teaching your traditions, telling your stories, these things aren't just good for those who hear them, they're good for you. They remind you that your voice still matters, that you still have value, that you're still contributing, still shaping the world around you, even in quiet, beautiful ways. Another shift that changes everything? Giving yourself permission to rest not because you're tired, but because you've earned it. Somewhere along the way, we learned that slowing down meant we were giving up. But in many native cultures, rest is sacred. It's part of the rhythm of life. Our ancestors moved with the seasons, honored the natural flow of energy. There's no shame in saying, today, I'm going to take it easy. In fact, it takes confidence to do that. It means you trust your body, your spirit, your timing. So whether it's making a pot of stew, walking gently through the forest, or sitting under the stars, remembering your favorite old song, you are not wasting time. You're living in it. You're honoring it. Let's keep going, because there's one final mindset shift that ties it all together, and that's embracing the truth that your best days aren't behind you, they're still unfolding. Right here, right now. So many people over 70 quietly carry this belief that the most exciting parts of life are over. That joy, adventure, purpose, those things belong to the young. But I want to gently challenge that idea because it's not just untrue, It's harmful. The way we think about aging shapes how we feel as we age. You see, happiness after 70 isn't about chasing the same dreams you had at 30. It's about giving yourself permission to dream new ones. It could be as simple as planting a garden and watching it grow with the seasons, or learning to bead, cook, or speak in a language your grandmother once used. It could mean walking the trail your grandfather walked every morning and letting the land remind you who you are. Or maybe it's finally traveling to a place your heart has longed for, whether that's a spiritual journey or just a new cafe in town where folks gather and laugh. Confidence isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet and steady. It's choosing to look in the mirror and smile at what you see, even if your joints ache or your skin has new lines. Every wrinkle, every silver strand is proof that you've lived, and that life has made you wise, resilient, and yes, still beautiful. When you carry yourself with that kind of quiet pride, people notice, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because you've made peace with who you are. So let's say this together in spirit. I am not done growing. I am not done giving. I am not done living. When we shift our mindset in this way, when we believe that aging is not the end, but a new beginning, we open the door to something incredible, a life full of meaning, even in the small moments, a heart that still feels joy, a spirit that refuses to be dimmed. If this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Share your story, your joy, your struggles, your wisdom. You never know who might need to hear it today. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe for more honest, uplifting conversations just like this one. Because here, we believe in living fully, loving deeply, and walking forward one strong, proud step at a time. Here's to living your best life at any age.